back to Good Day Everyone. Daylight savings time is this weekend, and unfortunately we do lose an hour of sleep, but it also is time to take the first line of defense and make sure it's still working against fires, and that is smoke detectors. I'm here with Inspector Gwen Jennings and Inspector Dan Harden, both from the Albany Fire Department.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Inspector Harden, I notice you have a smoke detector there in your hands, and looks like the one that many of us have around our homes or apartments or places of business. But there are actually two different types of fire alarms or smoke detectors, I guess, that you were saying.
Yes, they are. You have your ionization and your photoelectric.
And what's the
ionization detects smokes, photoelectric detects lights. The photoelectric is more expensive than ionization, but they are both UL tested, which is Underwriters Laboratory. So it's whatever one you prefer.
Okay.
I have the ionizations in my house. As you know, smoke detectors is your early warning in case you have a fire.
Absolutely.
So everyone should sleep with their door closed, because what kills you before the heat and flames ever get to you?
The
smoke and the poisonous gases.
Huh. Now, you obviously can still hear the smoke alarm through the door.
Yes.
Do you need to have one in your bedroom? Where should you have it
Most definitely. Smoke detectors should be in every bedroom, outside in the hallway. Never put it in the bathroom and the kitchen. Reason being, once you turn on the hot water or try to cook, it's going to activate. You're going to take the broom. You're going to knock it down. You're going to take the batteries out, and you just put your life in your hands.
And no one wants that. Going back to those two different types of smoke detectors that you mentioned the light. How does it differ between, say, turning the light on in a room and light from a fire, I guess?
Because the smoke detector photoelectric will be the light from the fire.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about it going
You don't
off
have to
every
worry
time
about when
you
you turn the lights on. Real good.
Okay, just want to make sure. Now, as you mentioned, I did have a little baked potato incident in my apartment, and it smoked up, and my smoke alarm went off. I have a small apartment, and that was the only time it's ever gone off in the year and a half or so that I've lived down here. The batteries clearly work because it went off, but what about people who are like, it's been sitting out there all year, it hasn't been used, still need to change those batteries or just check them?
Absolutely. This weekend begins daylight savings time. So we always suggest that when the time changes in the spring, you change your clock, then it's a good idea to change your smoke detector battery as well. So you change it twice a year when you change your clock, spring forward, fall back. And these batteries will only have a shelf life like most batteries. So if you begin to hear a chirping sound from your smoke detector, you only hear a beep every once in a while, that's a good indication that the battery is low.
And you might need to do it more often. All right, we're going to, I think, show how to change those batteries coming up here in just a few minutes. We've got a little bit more time. Don't forget, change them this weekend, and when we've, right now, we're springing forward right now, falling back. That's a few months away, but right now we're going to hand it over to Kelly. Like Chris, it's all right. Well, we are talking about changing the batteries in your smoke detector, and Inspector Harden, you were just sharing with me some pretty alarming statistics, no pun intended, since we're talking about smoke alarms, but here we are about 60 or so days into the year 2013, and there already been quite a few fires that could have been prevented.
Right, so far this year there have been 20 fires in homes where 28 people have died in those fires. In 16 of those incidents, there was no evidence of a working smoke detector.
Wow.
So that really emphasizes the importance of having these and making sure they're working correctly.
Certainly, and out of those fires, was that here in Albany and Doherty County, in the state?
In the state of Georgia.
Wow, but still, 16 of them could have been prevented, all by simply having a smoke detector and having it work. So when the clocks spring forward and fall back, we do want to change the batteries.
Right. It's essential to make sure that the battery's working good and to maintain these properly. Now, you can get dust buildup in here, so it's a good idea to open up the smoke detector, take out the battery. It's a simple 9-volt battery, and then take your vacuum cleaner, clean out the smoke detector once a month.
Sure.
Then put the battery back in, test it with the test button here, and make sure that it's working correctly.
And that it just kind of chirps a couple times.
Right. Now this is, if you put in the battery and it chirps regularly, you hear it about every minute or so, then there's most likely an indication that the battery is going to die and needs to be replaced. If you hear it constantly, there's probably something that's set off the detector.
Gotcha.
So first check and make sure it needs to be replaced. We suggest that again spring and fall when you change the time on your clock, change your smoke detector battery.
Certainly.
But
Go
absolutely
through.
get
Sweep the
those
whole
and make
house.
sure that they're installed.
All right, now what about fire extinguishers? Of course, we want the first line of defense, but kind of second line of defense. Many people have them in whether it's their kitchen, their garage, things like that. How often do you need to check those? Is it every twice a year?
Okay,
like
fire extinguishers should be checked once a month. They should be checked by a certified fire extinguisher person once a year. But by checking it yourself, you need to make sure it's in the green and it's not leaking, and it should be in the utility room. It must be mounted, and never put it under the kitchen sink.
Oh, very important tips.
Yes.
Learning something new. Also didn't know you're supposed to clean that out every month with your vacuum cleaner there. So great tips. We appreciate it so much, you coming on. Again, first line of defense. Definitely have it every room of your house again.
Every bedroom.
Every bedroom.
And
where else?
outside in the hallway.
Right.
Never in the bathroom of the kitchen.
Some wonderful tips. Thank you so much for keeping us
And thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Kelly, on over to you.